It's Monday, May 29, and time for your Barbados Today Morning News Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. It's back to court for the 3 Leicester Vaughan students charged in connection with the violent beating of a schoolmate. 2 of the 3 who last week pleaded guilty to assaulting the 15-year-old girl, occasioning her actual bodily harm, are expected to know their fates when they make their second appearance before Magistrate Ian Weeks in the District D Magistrates Court later today after spending the weekend at HMP Dodds. Meantime, Education Minister Ronald Jones has broken his silence on the issue, and he says he's not at all happy with how members of the public have reacted to the incident, which went viral on social media. He says instead of castigating those involved, society should be looking at ways at helping them.
As a society, I want us to look out for the victim, or the victims, because there are many, or there are several, let me say. You also have to look out for those who have perpetuated the crime, who perpetuated the violence, who perpetuated the bullying. You have to look out for those as well. So it is a constant rescuing of those.
While the minister acknowledges that such levels of brutality have no place within the educational system, he says it is the responsibility of the community to get to the roots of the anger in the nation's children.
We have to work and find systems and find solutions. The bell is ringing, and ringing loudly. We can't deny that there's violence in our society. We can't deny that there's even more and more drug use in our society. We can't deny there's a lot of anger within our society. We can't deny that there's some children who are not protected. We can't deny that. So once we move away from denials and face the harsh truth, then we will become better on behalf of our children.
Investigations are underway into an altercation involving a group of men at Reservoir Road, Lodge Hill, St. Michael yesterday that left 1 man nursing a gunshot wound and 2 others injured. 45-year-old David Ford of Piers Avenue, Lodge Hill, St. Michael, was shot in his left thigh and was transported to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital for treatment following the incident, which occurred around 4:15 p.m. 46-year-old Errol Ford of Green Hill, St. Michael, received cuts to his head and knees, while 22-year-old Shaquan Ifill of Caville, St. Michael, was chopped in his hands and head. Now, in more news from the Royal Barbados Police Force, officers are also investigating yesterday's sudden death of a 73-year-old woman. Police say Lolita Wiggins of First Avenue, Beckles Hill, St. Michael, was at a minimat at Evelyn Avenue, Bayville, St. Michael, when she collapsed and died around 1:20 p.m. In other news, Barbadians are being told not to expect much as Finance Minister Chris Sinclair gets ready to deliver the financial statement and budgetary proposals tomorrow. Former chairman of the Barbados Private Sector Organization, Alex McDonald, said the minister is between a rock and a hard place, especially in light of the upcoming general election constitutionally due within the next year. McDonald was speaking on local current affairs program Down to Brass Tacks yesterday.
Targeted initiatives focused at maybe expanding the revenue net while not inflicting much harm or too much harm on the masses. So I think that you will find cutouts loopholes being closed. I think that new levels of taxation may be put onto the higher end products and services, goods. But again, it certainly is going to be left up to which side of the minister's demeanor is going to take the dominant role, the technocrat or the politician.
The minister is set to present the budget at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and the opposition leader, Mia Motley, is expected to reply on Wednesday at the same time. The debate on the budget will commence immediately after and conclude on Thursday, June 1.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Who call and get your yams and potatoes? Wait, my girl, how you want to see you for long?
I can't. How you keeping? But you don't sell the nation paper no more.
But that paper ain't selling. This month now I stop selling that. Look, one time I would have make a little dollar on the Sunday. But when Sunday night, I still trying to get the weather there.
Well, you know you can't call that the Sunday no more. You're going to call that Sunset News. call at no time down you stale.
People complain that them ain't got nothing in it to read, and the price keep going up all the time. A woman abused me so sick the other day, telling me that she does read Barbados today online for free. I can't take that abusing soul, so I switched to my potatoes and yams.
Well, let me tell you, if pork selling, you got to raise pigs. How much for the yams?
Oh, 75 cents a pound.
Well, that's cheaper than that stale news. Give me
How much you want?
a pound.
Only a pound? Anyhow, these eating real good. Let me wrap them up for you. Come.
The Barbados Today, news you can trust.
We pick up with news from Trinidad and Tobago, where Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has sent a clear message to those in office about handling taxpayers' money, even as he assured the country that he will address the issue.
Taxpayers' money is not available to office holders to have a good time. No amount of justification. Maybe it's because I've been brought up in a certain way. I can tell you. I mean, I've been Prime Minister of this country for almost 2 years. I have never had a meal in the Prime Minister's office. I don't even know where the meal room is.
Yet the Prime Minister was not quick to condemn the sports minister, as the opposition and others have called on him to fire the minister from the cabinet over a $92,000 bill for a trip to Tobago for the THA Awards. Prime Minister, you would have received a report from the sports minister, which you requested of him concerning his recent trip to Tobago. Have you completed your review of the report? Have you made any determination as to if any action you think you would need to take in that matter?
The answer is no, I have not, but I will in the not too distant future.
The Prime Minister said he had a lot of information on it.
I'm very disappointed at what I saw coming out of the Ministry of Sport. I must say, I was disappointed. But I'm not overwhelmed by it, because I am leading a young cabinet, and I have a responsibility to ensure that they are guided in the appropriate way. And I think I've been doing that, and maybe not enough guidance would have fallen in the Ministry of Sport, and I would take responsibility for that, but I'll rectify that.
As for the tourism minister's $59,000 phone bill while in the Bahamas for a conference earlier this year, the Prime Minister said that could easily have happened to him when he went to Ghana.
On the international scene, North Korea has fired what appears to be a short-range ballistic missile. Observers say the test, which apparently is the third successful one in as many weeks, indicate that the country is making progress towards missiles capable of carrying warheads. However, this has not gone well with Japan, which has lodged a protest against the latest launch, which it says landed in its exclusive economic zone. More in this report from the CNN.
Every one of these that gets close to Japan makes Japan increasingly concerned. The Japanese Prime Minister calling for concrete action a short time ago in Japan. And this puts the U.S. in the position of continuously needing to deal with North Korea, whether it's short range or medium range. This is now the third ballistic missile test in about 10 days or so. And absolutely, the assessment is that Kim Jong-un's regime learns with each test. There is a concern that they may simply be able to, within a shorter period of time than anybody wants to see, have some kind of intercontinental ballistic missile capability, some kind of warhead capability, all the things that the U.S. needs to make them stop short of. The strategy right now, because of what Secretary Mattis points out would be the disaster of a war, is to try and get the Chinese to continue to pressure North Korea to give all this up. There's some evidence it might be working, but another test tonight, not enough evidence that it's really working in the end.
And that's news, but there's more on our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals and screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, or you can tune into Mix 96.9 FM for the very latest. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good morning.